review some of the stuff.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so you're gonna be right there, good, I can see you. Come back a little bit, yeah, perfect, okay. So get into your training stance. Okay, left fighting stance. Very good, okay, so we just very quickly do dart and retreat, okay? Retreat, 1, good dart first,
Oh.
okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and retreat, 1, 2, 3, 4, walk forward, very good, and dart, 1, 2, 3, 4, and retreat, 1, 2, 3, 4, walk back. Very good form. All right. Let's do walking forward, okay? 1, 2, drag, 3, yes, 4, and walk back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Shuffle forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shuffle back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and walk forward. Shuffle forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and shuffle back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Walk forward. Side step to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Side step to your left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk forward. Side step to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And side step to your left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk back. Good. Okay. Then I don't know if you're familiar with this one. This one's called cross step. Okay. You cross back. When you cross backwards, use the front leg. When you go forward, use the rear leg. Okay, so from here, okay, 1, okay, and then 2, right, you're actually moving, 3, good, now cross forward from behind, 1, 2, 3, 4, very good, walk forward. All right, cross back. That's right. Side step to your right. 1. Side step to your right. Oh, side step.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Good. From here, cross back from the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Did you learn the second form?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you remember, this is really the extension of the second form stance. The stance, is, they call it unicorn stance, or like this.
Oh yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have this.
Oh
yeah,
right. Yeah.
That's from the second
yeah.
form, right? So you do the same thing. So you can right here. So here it's like, oh, you end it like this, or end it like this. It's the same concept,
Yeah.
okay? You just from a stance into a step. So we'll call this diagonal, because you're not forward or sideways, but you're diagonal. So you're going kind of like a crab.
Yeah.
Crab that walks like this,
Yeah.
Crab, okay, same thing, okay? Very, very good. Okay, now left side forward again. This time we just add a punch. All we're doing is punching with the front hand, so the front hand and the front foot work together. So rather than 1, 2, 1, 2, it's not as efficient, right? The front hand goes with the front foot support. 1, okay? 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And when you dart, when you retreat, same thing. This time, front hand, rear foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Walk forward. Okay, same drill. Front hand, front foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and retreat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Redundant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Walk back. Very good. Okay, so now, I'm just reviewing, okay? Very good, I'm very impressed.
So I'm trying to do it by memory.
Very good, very good. Okay, so but this gives you a lot to practice.
Yeah.
Because fighting is nothing, it's not about knowing a lot of things. It's about only a few tools that you're very familiar with. And if you find ways to use the same tools and make them multifunctional, multi-purpose, okay? So you don't want to, if you notice, this is a great example of using multiple purpose tools. For example, a carpenter, when he goes to a job site, he has a tool belt. That's all he needs, right? Right? In the old days, and now you have nail guns, but in the old days, you just have nails and hammer. Okay? It's all, that's the tool belt he carries. That's all he needs. He doesn't need to carry a trunk of tools,
Yeah.
right? From job site to job site. No, he doesn't need to do that. He just needs a tool belt. So the hammer can be hammering the nails down or pulling them out. See, immediately the hammer has dual purpose, right? It's the same concept. We want to find, so the tools that you're getting right now, you find different purpose for them, different applications, okay? And physically, it just mixing and matching. There are only so many ways a human moves. Either we move in a linear fashion or a circular fashion, okay? Because it's all about this guy, okay? If you say, I'm going to move linear, oh, I can also move circular. Very good example is, if I just walk like this, I'm using a straight line, but I can also walk like this.
Yeah.
See that? Or like this. Good. Oh, I can use that to sweep. If I lift the foot, then I can use it to kick. Do you see?
Yeah.
It's the same tools which are your body. My leg goes straight forward. Okay, what can I do with that? See, a step is more than just a step. We have to see, step, I'm using this tool to do what? To advance, to close the gap. Or I'm using this tool to kick. It will be like this. I'm still using a straight line. See, the straight line is on the ground or in the air. Nonetheless, it's still a straight line, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can use the straight line to attack. I can use the straight line to defend. I can use the circular lines to defend. I can also use the circular lines to attack. Again, it's about yin and yang. Our job is not to acquire many techniques. Our job is to make the movements multifunctional. Find applications for one single movement. See, you exhaust this movement, say, I'm doing this movement right here. Well, how many ways can I make it work for me? So remember the 6-sided box, the dimension thinking? So the top, bottoms, left and right, and front and back. So that box represents a movement. We have to ask ourselves, how many ways can I make this movement work for me? Rather than collecting these, this is what the problem with a lot of people who teach or learn. It's not collecting techniques. They expect to receive some techniques when they do classes from the instructors. Okay, so the instructors hand them out, and they're busy memorizing. That's a very, very hard way to learn, because you're collecting. You have to make sense of all the things you collected at a moment's notice. Okay?
Yeah.
So we just say basically it's all about yin and yang. You either attack or you defend. You either go forward or you go backwards. Right?
Yeah.
And because the way our bodies are built, we figured out, okay, my arms have to support my legs. So I am able to use both arms at the same time. So if I'm able to use both arms at the same time, why would I do one arm at a time?
Yeah.
So this type of concept is dated, very dated. Why would I defend and attack first? Because I can just do it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So because it's about simplicity, efficiency, and directness. From the way it was from the time from the time of inception to the development of Wing Chun and Kung Fu, the nun did a lot of research. Okay, it's all, and she had the advantage of being a woman. She was smaller than guys and weaker than guys for her size. She had to figure out the most scientific way to defeat or defend herself. Okay, so everything is geared towards that. How can I make things more efficient for me, so I can get out of jam within 2 seconds, a second or two? Because the longer I stay in the fight, the more likely I'm going to get injured. So it's all about, and that's reality, because the stronger person will eventually win. The person who has more stamina and endurance will win, right? Because now you're tired. Okay? So we don't do a lot of physical training. You see, we don't run around, do push-ups. Those things you can do on your own. Okay? But we're always thinking about how can I destroy the target very quickly and use less energy than I have to. You know, so that's what it's all about. Then you think about the physical part, the physics of motion. Okay, what can our limbs create? Because we're always talking about lines. Because your arms and legs can create straight lines and circular lines. Now this is what we think. Okay, if it's about yin and yang, which is offense and defense. Okay, so what can I use the straight line as a defense? Okay, what about using that's the defense? Then use the straight line as an offense. Okay, well I have 2 arms. Why can one arm be defensive, one arm be offensive? That is the simplest and most efficient way, and the most direct way to end the confrontation.
Yeah.
Okay, if he's only throwing one hand at a time at you,
Yeah.
okay,
Double.
right? We use both hands,
Yeah.
so you gang up on him. So that's what we have to keep in mind all the time. We want to make sure that things we do at that moment is the most efficient and simplest way to address the conflict. Okay. Okay. So everything we do is to enhance the understanding of straight lines, circular lines, offensive purposes, defensive purposes. All right. So in this case, as you can see, we do this other way. We do right side. Okay. Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah. So a straight punch, if the person does not move, okay, that's my teacher used to say, be aware of statements of absolute. But be careful, okay? Because once someone said you always do it this way. Any other ways are wrong. See, that's a statement of absolute. Okay. So you qualify yourself by saying, okay, if he doesn't move if he doesn't move sideways, straight line is the most direct way. It's the shortest distance between 2 lines. Now when he starts moving, that is implying, okay? So we're not stuck on only straight lines. A lot of Wing people are too stuck on straight lines because they keep thinking, it's the shortest distance, I'll give him first. It is if he doesn't move away from it, deviate from his path. Yes, if you're both doing this, he throws a hook, you throw a straight, you get there first. Because hooks take too long to get there, okay? So a lot of people sort of kind of forgot to practice the circular strikes, even though in the forms, it's the circular approach is mentioned over and over again. Either they don't see it or they refuse to acknowledge it. So they keep insisting on only using the straight blast, okay? Okay. So, for example, if I'm doing this and he moves sideways, right? See the hook gets him. Right? Same thing if you're defending against a straight punch, the hook. So you're not there anymore. Okay? So we don't follow these statements of absolutes because it's misleading. lock into a technique. Okay.
Those
Okay.
are the two examples I had in my head when you're saying that stuff. Those are the two things that I imagined, the two scenarios that I imagined was the guy throwing it straight, and then you're going in here, and then someone else, you go in there, and then they do it.
Right. Remember the four possibilities? Straight line versus
Yeah.
straight line. Curved line versus curved line. Straight against a curve against a straight.
Yeah.
Neither one of those is superior to any other ones. It's just about timing and distancing.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're not there, then you can use, you can do a straight as you go forward, or you can do a circular as you go forward, or you go, So it depends on. So we don't practice. We don't say curved lines, circular lines are too wasteful because it takes too much time to get there. So we don't practice that. Then we're missing the other half of the equation. Right? Because in the forms, the circular approach is repeated over and over again. Okay? Anytime you do this, it's circular. How can you not see that?
Yeah.
Okay? You do the half circle, right? Right? Anytime you're doing this, you're doing circle. Okay?
Yeah.
So from there, you can see hooks or uppercut. Even it even mentioned in the forms. Especially the last form was all circles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, all right. Just my personal opinion. Okay.
How they miss.
People may not agree, but I'm just pointing out the obvious. Okay?
Yeah.
The forms are not something you learn in order to get secret stuff,
Yeah.
the most advanced stuff. The forms are the basis of all your applications. I often say, forms are your inspirations and aspirations and applications. You get inspired by the movements, and also you can apply, take the forms apart and apply them. Okay?
Yeah.
Very important. Okay, so from left side, before we use the front hand, now we use the rear hand. So rear hand, rear foot. Like this. Right? 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. Same thing as you go back. This time, rear hand, rear foot. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. Walk back. All right. Same thing. Rear hand, rear foot. Rear hand, front foot. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. Rear hand, rear foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And walk back. Very good. Everything is about. I came up with this concept many years ago. It's called layering. If you look at an onion, when you start peeling off, it's basically layers, or a cabbage. Okay? So when you start peeling off the top layers, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So the first thing we learn is the foundation, which is basic layer. Then you just start putting layers on top. Came from the same thing. So your layer, as you put them on, it may turn out to be something different, but it's actually the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I meant was, we understand that concept. If you're going to tap with the front hand, yin yang sense. Oh, you can tap with the rear hand. Just like if you can dart, you can retreat. If you're going to use the front hand independently and use the rear hand independently, then you can put them together. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? So the next drill you've done before, I'm just reviewing, is rear. You're going to do a double punching because the nature of stepping is 2 steps. 1, 2. 1, 2. Right? So we want to make sure we get the upper body and lower body together. It's called body unity. So there's no disconnection between the upper body and the lower body. Just like when you punch with the front hand, your front foot goes. Okay? When you punch with the rear hand, the rear foot goes. Because like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? So there's no waste. It is so economical. You don't say, I'm gonna dart first and then strike. Or retreat and then strike. That's too wasteful. You want to make sure that as you go, you're striking. As you go, you're striking. either the front hand strike or the rear hand strike, okay? All right. Oh, before we do that, let's do another drill, which is the third layer, okay? Which is switching. As you go forward, oh, we did that already by using the front hand. Yes, we did that. Okay, so now the third layer is to combine the two. When you dart, front foot, front hand go with the front foot, rear hand go with the rear foot as you advance. Okay, and as you go back, front hand goes with the rear foot, and the rear hand goes with the front foot. Okay, we're going to dart first. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 4, 1, 2, good, and retreat. See, this time, your rear hand, your rear foot will, front hand and rear foot work together. 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, and walk back. Same drill, okay? 1, good, 2, 3, 4, very good. And retreat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Walk forward. Okay. So that's the concept. Now, when you use the same concept, except we're going to do it sideways. Okay. So because basically we're dealing with two lines. Anytime you're standing, think about a vertical line and a horizontal line that you occupy. Okay? That is the horizontal plane. Okay? This is very important because most people are not aware or not introduced to the lines. The lines are very important because you take those two lines with you everywhere you go. Okay? So this is, the cross you bear. And in this case, the cross that's stuck to the bottom of your feet. That eventually, when we learn weapons, whether it's double knives or long pole, the same cross will appear. Instead of horizontal, that's going to be vertical. Okay? Okay. So this basically is your primary directions. Okay? Forward, backwards, sideways, and diagonal, right?
Yeah.
So as you start adding diagonal, then they will be like this, right? You go forward diagonally, you go backward diagonally. Okay. You do the 8 slashing knives.
Yeah.
Same thing, the same directions, except now it's in the air. Okay. So as you can see, this diagonal, right? Forward, backward, sideways, and then diagonal, Okay. So now we've finished addressing the front. We're going to use the forward and backwards. Now when it goes left and right, because it basically is this.
Yeah.
All you're doing is just grab this guy and turn him this way so it goes horizontally rather than vertically. And you notice it's still the same thing. If you go to the left foot first. Go to the right foot first. If you cross, then it becomes diagonal. Okay? See? If I'm going to my right by using my left foot first, see? It crosses. If I'm using my rear foot to go forward, it crosses. That's what it means. Because normally, if I'm going to my left foot first. For my right foot first. Now, if I'm going to my right by using my left foot first, then it's a cross. Okay?
Yeah.
It's that simple. And the reason the stepping pattern was developed by the nun is she was looking at our natural human movements. Okay. So the first thing is walking. See? Walking. One foot over the other,
Yeah.
right? So that's why walking is more stylized. That's all. Okay? And then she started experimenting. You know, I can walk like this as well.
Yeah.
I can walk like this as well, right? If I can use the rear foot to go forward, I can certainly use the front foot to go forward first, right? All right. If I can go vertically, I can certainly go sideways. Okay, front foot first, rear foot first. That's it. Okay, how about rear foot first? How about front foot first? That's how it's developed. I believe that because we humans cannot do anything that our bodies are not capable of doing.
Yeah.
The arm doesn't bend this way, so you cannot develop any defense or offensive movement by using bending arm this way, right? You can only create, or not create, it's not created, it's there already. Develop something that your body is capable of by observing how the body moves. Okay, so the first form basically is rediscovering your own body.
Yeah.
Alright? Okay, so same thing with sideways. The reason you move sideways is because you don't want a direct confrontation. The person may be too fast, too big, too powerful. You don't want to crush. Okay? And that's the number one rule in Wing Chun is we assume the attacker is bigger and stronger. We don't want to have to use our egg against rock.
Yeah.
Okay? So instead of direct confrontation, we use angles. Okay? So the old triangles still apply.
Yeah.
It's always applying. You want some water?
Sure.
That's cold, yeah.
I remember when you were first showing us that crossing, and you went like this, and just like that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So the next movement is it's called circle step, which is in the third form.
Oh. Yeah, I finished the kicking form, and then I never got to the wooden dummy form. That's next, right? After
Right.
kicking form.
The kicking form after kicking form is done, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you remember the form?
I don't remember any of the forms.
Okay.
I remember them in my mind, but I can't like play it out.
So that's okay. All right. No problem.
But yeah, a lot of what you're saying, I hear myself. I've had a girlfriend for 2 years and 8 months, and I'm always telling her whenever whenever she brings up like kung fu and stuff, I'm just start rambling on about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, my teacher said this, and then I'm like, yes, you have to do this, and I'm like, oh, that's my other martial arts.
She's probably said, okay, I'll break it up.
Our very first date, I was rambling on about it, and then I still ramble on about it whenever.
She's like, oh, I didn't know what I've got myself into. All right, sideways. We've done this before. We're just briefly touching here. Same thing, because the person is coming towards you. Here's the thing: when a body is in motion, it stays in motion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's physics, right? The reason why is once he committed to charging in, he cannot deviate from the path, because this mass that's traveling through the air, the momentum, the inertia, whatever. I'm not very good at physics, but I know a little bit that you cannot stop it until you slow down. Then you can change course. But when you commit it, it's coming. You cannot change course. So he's coming towards you, and you move sideways. You have to attack at an angle. Otherwise, you're missing, right? You're right here. I'm not hitting. I'm not hitting the guy. I need to create that triangle. Okay? It's called an angular attack. So I bring out our old buddy triangle again, right? This is a triangle, right? But again, we bring up this cross, right? Okay. It is the way how we stand. It's also the way we approach. So you go sideways. This represents his energy coming towards you. This is where you are, right? He's committed here, and you go sideways, but your energy is directed angularly this way. So it's like he's coming in and you wait for him in the future. Okay, you're in the present time. You move into the future. You're still committed to the present, and you can intercept, attack. So this is how we practice. We have to visualize the person is in front of us. So when you attack in an angular fashion. Okay, so this is where you are, right? So as you go sideways, you're gonna go like this. Angular. Okay? Alright. So let's do left fight from the left side step to the left, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Very good, okay? Now as we go to the right, you want to use a back fist because there's no setup. Just from here, using the knuckles. Okay? Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. And walk forward. Same thing. As you side step to your left, you're going to start with the front hand. You'll be using a back fist. 1, that's it. 2, 3, 4. Good. Now side step to your right. 1, that's it. 2, 3, 4. Looking good. Very good. All right. Walk back. Now this time, see, you have to compare side steps with dart and retreat. Okay. Front hand, right? Dart, retreat. Front hand, right? To the left, to the right. See that?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right? So we exhausted the linear approach by using the front hand. Next thing is rear hand. If I can go sideways attacking with my front hand, I have to be able to attack with my back hand, with my rear hand. Same thing, right? Right? Here's the angle. So I go on do, right? Same thing. Now, our rear hand, front foot, just like this. Rear hand, front foot. Rear hand, front foot, right? Okay? So in your mind, you have to compare them because sidestepping is based on dart and retreat. The only difference is directions. Okay?
Yeah.
The direction is different. Both linear. One is going forward and backwards. The other one's going sideways. So the two are connected. They're not. I always say that things we learn in Wing Chun seem to be islands. They seem to be by themselves. But most people forget islands are connected. Right? You can see, okay, there's like 6 islands, 7 islands of Hawaii. I don't remember exactly, okay? They seem to be by themselves. Well, they have to be connected, otherwise they're going to flow away, right?
Yeah.
The same. So they're connected like miles down. Oh, it's a landmass down there.
Yeah.
So they make, so dart and retreat and sidestepping seem a world apart, but they're actually connected. Okay, so we have to see that. That is understanding the concepts, because understanding the concept will benefit you greatly because you can figure out a lot of things rather than being given techniques. Okay.
Shuffle side.
Right? Good. All right. Shuffle is also what she came up with because she wants to exhaust what these legs can do. One leg, see it? One leg does not overtake the other.
Yeah.
One leg can overtake the other. What is in the middle? This is what this is over for. It's a curvy line. It's not a straight line. Because if it's a straight line, it's either this or that. Okay? See? This contains each other.
Yeah.
So she's thinking. This is one extreme. This is the other extreme. What's in the middle? What is that curvy line? Exactly. I'm using my rear foot, but I don't go over because if I overtake my front foot, then it's a walk. I can do this. I can do this. That's in between.
Yeah.
See, in between, okay? In between this and this. Neither walk nor dart. Okay?
Yeah.
That's how the shuffle came about. And by playing with these movements, she figured out I gained the longest distance by using walking back and forward. I have tremendous speed if I use dart and retreat. But if I use shuffle, I gain speed and distance. But I suffer mobility. There's no one footwork there's no one size fits all. Every one of those stepping patterns has advantages and disadvantages. Okay, that's how the pattern, stepping patterns came about. Okay. So the next one is one go side step to the left by using the rear hand. Okay, 1, good, 2, 3, and to the right, front hand, rear hand, 1. There you go, 2, 3, 4. Good. Walk forward. Side step to your left by using the rear hand. 1. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4. Side step by using the rear hand to your right. 1. Yes. 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay? We've done this before, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm just kind of
It's
refreshing.
calibrating my mind.
Right. Plus, it's it's recorded, so you can always go back and refer, or regurgitate what
Yeah.
we discussed here, right? Well, of course, the natural progression is you use each one independently. Now you use them together, just like 1, 2 or 1, 2, except you do it horizontally rather than linear. Okay. So same thing. We use the front hand first. Okay. So as you go to the left, front hand, rear hand, and sit up. Okay. Right. So come back here. All right. So 1, front, rear. Very good. 2. So the second one is a back fist. 3. Very good. 4. Very good. Side step to your right. Front hand first. 1. Back fist. There you go. 2. 3. Good. 4. Excellent. Walk back. Same drill. To your left first. Front hand first. 1. 2. 3. 4. Good. To your right. Front hand first. 1. 2. 3. 4. Very good. And walk back. Okay, so both dart and retreat, we moving linearly and sidestepping, moving horizontally. The drill is based on using the front hand first. Okay, that's yang. Then you say, I can use the rear hand first. Okay, so that's how these are not techniques. By the way, Darlene drew this.
I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you if she
Right.
drew this.
Yes. Okay, so the same thing. If I can start with the front hand, I can certainly start with the rear hand. That's the power of this principle. You figure this out.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't need to tell you. You play research and development yourself. You have the basic tools ready, and then you just start figuring it out. Okay, if I can go 1, 2, why can I go 1, 2? If I can go 1, 2, why can I go 1, 2? Right?
Yeah.
Either I lead with the front hand or I lead with the rear hand. And you start playing them. The combinations. The combinations are as many as you want them to be. You exhaust them. So by exhausting all the possibilities, you avoid getting into an unknown territory. That's a really big no-no when you're fighting. I don't know how to get out of this because I never practice. So you want to practice as many combinations as you can. But I think that the most outrageous combination, right? So when you do get into the situation, you have to use it. I don't know how to do it. You should do. Yeah, I've done it before many times. Okay. Okay. Right side. We did that already. I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So that basically takes care of striking linearly by moving linearly,
Okay.
either sideways, either vertically or horizontally, okay? So, one of the characteristics of Wing Chun, which is a big part of the biggest advantage that Wing Chun has to offer, is the concept of trapping. Trapping basically means immobilizing one of the weapons. Okay, a person has basically 4 primary weapons.
If they're only using one as it is.
Right. So we're gonna say on the upper body they only have 2.
Yeah.
I call them primary weapons because you can have elbows and shoulders. Okay? Secondary weapons or long range weapons, medium range weapon, and short range weapon. Okay. So let's take the upper body for example. The arms. Okay. When you use your hand to strike, it reaches the farthest because you're all stretched out. Okay. When you bend, then the distance starts to decrease. Here, okay. So the hand, which is connected to the wrist, is your long range weapon. The medium range weapon, short range weapon. On the bottom, you have 3 ranges of weapon as well. Your foot, which is like your hand, is the long range weapon. Knee, medium range weapon. Hip, short range weapon. The reason they're categorized as such is because depending on where your opponent is, he could be far away.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to use medium and short range weapon to attack a long range goal.
Yeah.
Right? But you see this all the time. Okay? The reason they do that is because they don't understand the concept of ranges of weapons. They only know techniques. Here's the elbow strike. So to them, elbow strike can be fired from any distance.
Yeah.
It's a technique. Right? So I'm over here, I'm going to do this to you.
Yeah.
Wow. If you just stick your hand out,
Yeah.
before I can reach you, you reach me. Okay?
Yeah.
And you don't see this happen. People do that because, again, the guy's throwing an elbow strike technique. You are trying to defend against that technique. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to stick my hand out. Boom! I get there first because you are foolish enough to use a medium range weapon to reach a long range target, and I'm just sticking my hand out to reach a long range weapon. Okay. That's not understanding the concept. Really mess you up. Same thing, someone comes in with a punch. He's using the longest weapon on his upper body. You kick him. Who gets first? You get there first.
Yeah.
Why? Because your leg is the longest weapon.
Yeah.
Okay? But people start covering up because, oh, here's an attack. She's doing a technique at me. I need to figure out how to defend that. Forget that. I'm just going to attack.
Yeah.
That is also the aggressive mindset of Wing Chun. You're always attacking. Even when you're defending, you're attacking. This is a very interesting concept. What do you mean? Because to most people, defense is defense, offense is offense. The twins shall never meet. They don't understand the concept of attack and defend at the same time. This concept. Because 99.99999% of the martial arts community do not have this principle, or were not taught this principle.
Yeah.
Nothing is more efficient, more effective than attacking and defending at the same time. You can do it with both arms. You can also do it with one arm. Okay. Case in point, if you throw a punch at me, I'm not just going to defend. I mean, that's what most people do. Okay, they try to defend against that. Okay? But our concept is my defense needs to contain the elements of offense. So, and the first thing you learn is the second one, right? So my weapons needs to be always pointing and attacking center line, even when I'm defending. Here's the difference between pure defending and defending with the element of attacking. Same punch. Okay? One, that is just defending.
Yeah.
This is 2.
Yeah.
See, my elbow push your arm out of the way, and my fist is coming towards the center line.
Yeah.
I'm doing two things at the same time.
Mhm.
They are not 2 separate entities, as most people are taught and teach. is 1.
So then on the flip side, when you're defending, it can, yeah.
When you're defending, don't forget to attack. That's what I'm saying. I'm defending you. Right?
Yeah, right,
Right?
yeah.
But I'm also attacking.
Yeah.
Because my mind is always on the center line, always on the target. This will carry you through the entire system. It is so with empty hands, it is also true with knives. Same thing, you don't want to just parry or block his knife or his weapon. You want to attack at the same time. Your weapons are always trained on the target. Even when they're not trained, your mind is trained. Your arms can be here, but your mind is on the center line.
Yes.
Okay? So it could be a physical thing or it could be a mental thing. Okay? All right. So let's quickly do dart and retreat by using a rear hand lead. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. All right. So go forward first. Okay. 1, there. 2, 3, 4. Good. And retreat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Walk back. Very good. Same drill, rear hand first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And retreat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay, let's do side step. Okay, side step first to your left, to your right. Go ahead. 1. Yes. 2, 3, 4. Very good. All right, now side step to your left. Using rear hand first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Very good. I'm gonna get a cable. The battery. I've been taping, recording this for a while, so when you visit my site, there's a lot of videos to watch.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
So I can kind of learn with that too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole reason I do that, so people can review, regurgitate. So what did he say? Then you can start taking notes.
Yeah.
Like watching the video over and over again.
Yeah, it'll help me with when I try to remember. Okay, what was
Exactly.
it?
Now that you can just go back and take notes in your leisure without having to stop. Okay, so now we're going to convert. Remember my statement? And a limb for a limb, which means if you can punch with your hand, you can kick with your foot. They're the same thing. The only difference between the two, the only difference is legs are stronger and they bend differently. Arms bend this way, legs bend that way. But this is important because eventually, it's very interesting because whoever created the symbol truly understand the nature of the universe. Okay? You see how the arms bend this way and legs bend the opposite. Yet they both reside on the same body. Okay? Okay, so this stance from the left fighting stance right here, okay? When you kick, you want to make sure whether you're using the closed style or guard or open style eventually, you want to make sure your arms are not compromised. So you don't want to kick like this or kick like moving your arms. You want to make sure the arms are always at the ready because after you kick, you strike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So you want to keep that guard center, okay? So without moving right now, okay? I think I'm just reviewing. Stepping is key. The only difference between a step and a kick is where the foot is located. If the foot is on the ground, stays on the ground, it's a step. If the foot is off the ground, it's a kick. So if you look at the kicking with the front foot, it is exactly like this. Right?
Yeah.
Left foot first, it's on the ground, but if I go like this, left foot first,
Yeah.
I'm doing the dart in the air.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay? So remember that. Well, you can miss it. It's recorded. The only difference between a step and a kick is where the foot is. If the foot is on the ground, it's a step. If the foot is off the ground, it's a kick. Alright. Alright, so right now we don't want to move. You just want to practice kicking with the front foot. Now you want to kick with the heel. Okay, so you want to bend the toes back towards you to expose the hardest part of your foot, the heel. Okay? One, lift, kick. Okay? As you can see, it's from the first form. A second form, right? And everything, remember, everything came from the forms. Inspirations and applications. Okay? 2, knee up, kick. 3, knee up, kick. 4, knee up, kick. 5, knee up, kick. Alright? Walk back. Okay? We're only going to do 4 to 5 times. Okay? 1, knee up, kick. 2, knee up, kick. 3, knee up, kick. 4, knee up, kick. 5. Good. Okay? You notice I use the word knee up because the type of kicks you use depend on the knee positions. By placing the knees differently, you make the foot angle differently.
Yeah.
Okay? So as you can see, if your knee is up, you can use either the ball of the foot, or the front, or the heels of the foot. If your knee is out, see, it kicks like this. If your knee is in, it kicks like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, those are taught. We learn in form,
Yeah.
second form. Okay. So you notice like this. Right? Knee out, I'll kick this
So
way.
yeah.
Right? So we go like this. Knee in, you kick this way. Okay. So these are very subtle hints that she sprinkled all over the place. We have to see it. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's finish. We did the right side.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did
So
both.
right. Okay. So the next one is like a walk. Okay. Walking like this. Rear foot, right? Okay. So if my foot is on the ground, it's a walking step. If my foot is off the ground, it's a kick. Right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Go forward. Again, rear foot. 1, 2. Make sure your outgoing hand is pointing at the target. 3, 4. That's it. Okay? So if we're going to turn the kick into a step, then you move to rear foot. Okay? This is dart, right? Dart goes like this. Left, right. Okay, now watch. Left, right. Left, right. Okay, that's it. That's all. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if I were to go back, rear, front, rear, front. Now compare that to this. Rear, front, rear, front.
Yeah.
Okay? This is the power concept. So we're not learning kicking. The kicking is kicking. Stepping is stepping. Everything came from the same place. These are the roots, or the very first layer, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's going forward using dart. Okay? So I'm going to quickly do this. Okay? And 1, kick and drag. 2, kick and drag. Okay? So you finished the next 2. I'm going to do the stepping. You're going to do the kicking. Okay? 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. All right, very good. Okay, so you can see the comparison, right, side by side. Comparison. Now, kicking with the front foot, retreat. 1, 2. That's it. 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, walk back. All right, same thing, you kick, I step, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, retreat, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, walk back. Okay, now, you're going to do the kick by using the rear foot, which is a walk. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay? Alright, see that's the power of concept, okay?